The H-1B visa program has long been a cornerstone of the U.S. economy, attracting highly skilled workers from around the globe. But as we look towards the future, the program continues to spark heated debates. Should the U.S. continue the H-1B program, or is it time for a change? Let's dive into the pros and cons and what they mean for businesses, workers, and the economy. First, let's dive into the pros of the H-1B visa program. On the positive side, the H-1B program is a major driver for innovation and economic growth. By bringing in top talent from countries like India, China, and beyond, the program fills critical skill gaps in industries like technology, healthcare, and engineering. Companies like Google, Apple, and Microsoft have built their success in part on the contributions of the H-1B visa holder. Without this talent pipeline, many businesses say they would struggle to compete on a global scale. For startups and smaller companies, the H-1B program levels the playing field. It allows them to access specialized skills they might not find in the domestic labor market. Whether it's a software developer with niche expertise or a biomedical researcher working on the next big breakthrough, H-1B visa holders often bring the expertise needed to drive innovation. It's not just about business though. The H-1B program also benefits the broader U.S. economy. Studies have shown that highly skilled immigrants contribute to job creation, not just in their own fields, but across related industries. Their spending boosts local economies, and their expertise often leads to the development of new industries and technologies. The cultural diversity that H-1B visa holders bring is another often overlooked advantage. In today's globalized world, businesses that embrace diversity are better positioned to create products and services that resonate across international markets. H-1B workers contribute fresh perspectives that can lead to groundbreaking ideas and creative problem solving. However, the program isn't without its challenges. Critics argue that the H-1B program can be exploited, with some employers using it to hire cheaper labor rather than investing in domestic workers. This has led to accusations that the program suppresses wages in certain industries and leaves qualified U.S. workers sidelined. There's also the issue of fairness. The current lottery system means companies can't always secure visas for the talent they need, creating uncertainty in hiring. On the flip side, it raises questions about whether the program is too skewed towards large corporations, leaving smaller businesses and startups at a disadvantage. Another concern is the potential for worker exploitation. Some H-1B visa holders report being underpaid or locked into unfavorable working conditions due to the restrictive nature of the visa. Addressing these issues would require tighter oversight and enforcement to ensure the program benefits everyone fairly. The economic implications of dependency on H-1B workers also comes into play. Critics warn that over-reliance on foreign talent could discourage investment in the domestic workforce, such as in STEM education and training. A stronger focus on cultivating homegrown talent could, they argue, reduce the need for the program altogether. While the program is often discussed in the context of tech companies, its impact extends far beyond Silicon Valley. In the healthcare sector, for instance, H-1B visas are critical for filling shortages of doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals. Rural and underserved areas in particular benefit from H-1B visa holders who step into roles that might otherwise remain vacant. The academic and research sectors also depend heavily on the program. Universities and research institutions bring in scholars and scientists under H-1B visas, allowing the U.S. to remain a leader in global innovation. Without access to international talent, these institutions risk falling behind in groundbreaking research. In manufacturing and engineering, H-1B visas support industries like aerospace and automotive, where niche expertise is often required. Businesses in these sectors use the program to fill roles that demand highly specific skills, which can be difficult to find locally. Trade policy and immigration reform play significant roles in the H-1B debate. For businesses that rely on the program, even small regulatory changes can create ripple effects. For example, increasing the minimum wage requirement for H-1B visa holders can make the program less appealing to some employers, but could also ensure fair compensation and reduce the perception of undercutting domestic workers. Another ongoing discussion revolves around expanding the cap on H-1B visas. Currently, the program has a limit of 85,000 new visas per year, which many argue is too restrictive given the growing demand for highly skilled talent. An increase in the cap could help alleviate the hiring challenges faced by companies across the U.S. At the same time, stricter oversight and penalties for non-compliance could address concerns about misuse of the program. Ensuring transparency in how H-1B visas are allocated and used could go a long way in building trust and reducing criticism. So where does that leave us? For many, the answer isn't to scrap the H-1B visa program, but to reform it. Ideas like raising the wage floor for H-1B positions, prioritizing visas for companies truly in need, and increasing transparency in the application process are all on the table. These changes could help balance the program's benefits with its potential downsides. From a business law perspective, companies that rely on the H-1B program need to stay ahead of potential changes. Whether it's navigating compliance issues, dealing with visa caps, or planning for workforce stability, legal expertise is critical in this space. If you're a Florida business grappling with these challenges, consulting with an experienced law firm can make all the difference. At the end of the day, the H-1B visa program is about more than immigration. It's about maintaining America's competitive edge in an increasingly global economy. Whether you're for or against the program, one thing is clear: the future will shape the trajectory of U.S. businesses for years to come.